Hey there, hi there, ho there out in spray wash land. We've got Todd trying to get in. He's having a little bit of technical difficulties. But as soon as he gets those technical difficulties taken care of, he'll be joining me here. And Ray is up in Lake Tahoe having a good time. He may or may not jump in and join us a little bit here this evening. Don't know whether or not he'll be here or not, but like I said, Todd is in the back room right now. He's trying to get himself in. He's trying to get things figured out. Little technical difficulties. He bought a new computer and he's having trouble getting it to connect his microphone and his camera. So typically, we like to have the guest right off the bat, but he'll join us and we'll get started here. I'm going to start talking about some things until Todd can come in, and even if he can't come in, we'll figure out something else and we'll just go with it. So anyhow, one of the first things I want to do is I want to mention that if you haven't ever seen it or been part of it, Carlos Gonzalez, we all know who Carlos Gonzalez is. Good friend of mine, yours, pretty much everybody's in this industry. Carlos is a great guy. And Carlos holds the Exterior Cleaning Summit, and he does that in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico every year. I don't have the dates, but I know that he's announced it and he's got that going on. So for me, the Exterior Cleaning Summit has more to do with people that have been in business for a while, though a lot of new business owners have gone there. And it's really a great time for vacation and for really learning to grow your business. It is more business. It's like a convention, except it's very small. It's got a very small group of people, kind of a thing. So, and I think there's a lot of one-on-one, better focused attention, that sort of thing. So, if you can make it to the Exterior Cleaning Summit, hosted by Carlos Gonzalez in Cabo San Lucas in 2023, man, I want to say, and don't hold me to it, but it's only like $2,300, $2,500, $2,800, maybe $32 this year. I don't know the pricing. I don't know anything about that, but just what I've seen in the past. And a lot of great guys a lot of guys that have come back from that. I'm going to call it a convention, but it's really a working vacation. Have had great things to say and have grown their businesses, some of them exponentially. So there's that. So just a little pitch for Carlos. I know he's out and on vacation, having a good time, like most of us for this time of year. And wash on, guys. Wild West Services. Hey, fam. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, see how you are. Again, even though you're late, I can tell you right now, I got Todd in the back office. He's trying to get his way in here. He's having a little bit of technical difficulties. Hopefully he can get his camera turned on and get his microphone working. And then I'll go ahead and get started without him, but I'm hoping that he can join us here pretty soon because Todd's got some really good stuff going on. And I thought I would share some of that. And it's better to talk with him about his stuff, but even if not, we'll go with it. James Matthew says, I did a big job for restaurant gift cards. How do I make use them to grow my business? There are a lot of different things that you can do. So you're giving out gift cards for the restaurant, or I did a big job for a restaurant gift cards. I'm not quite following what you're saying there. You got gift cards from them, or you're getting gift cards from them, or you bought gift cards to use at their store. Define that, and then I'll get into it. Because a lot of that is stuff that we're going to talk about here this evening. And partnering with other businesses like the restaurants is a super great idea for giveaways and for contests and for even festivals. I mean, because this is part of festivals. Oh, hey, Todd's right there.
All right,
there he is. You had to go a different route, didn't you?
I actually have a brand new desktop. And then I try to connect with you on my old laptop. And now I just connected with you on my new laptop.
So it does have everything you need. I figured, I'm like, that doesn't sound right for it not to have a microphone and camera on it. But
well, my new desktop, surprisingly, it don't. So wow. I had to break out my new laptop. I just got from my wife. So
well, there you go. Anyways, there you
go. Glad to be hooked up with you.
Glad to have you here. So first of all, let me do an introduction for you. And if I butcher your last name, just forgive me. Oh, there you go. He's zipping out on us. Hopefully he's going to pop back in. Todd, you must be having a bad connection there, buddy. All right. Well, I'm sure I'm sure it's a Wi-Fi connection for him or some kind of internet connection for him. He'll come back in. Michael J saying, "Good evening, pros. All went well with my surgery last Thursday. Very thankful for the thoughts, prayers, and on the mend." That is super awesome to hear, Michael. Glad that surgery went well and that things are hopefully looking up for you. That, and we got Chris Coonsey had some, I guess, a heart attack or two. And hopefully, I know that he's on the mend from that as well. So he's had it kind of rough with the broken ankle and everything. But Jim Bob, I got to tell you, that's politically incorrect. And you know me, I don't care. Merry Christmas back at you. Political correctness is not the thing here. You know, while I'm waiting for Todd to come back in, there he is. I was getting ready to say, Todd, while I was waiting for you to come back in, I learned the other day, I try to be positive about everything and try to keep a positive atmosphere and a positive thing going on all the time. But I learned the other day that I have a couple of new subscribers or followers that don't like me, which is cool by me because to me, I believe, I don't lie, cheat, or steal from anybody. Don't like dealing with people that lie, cheat, or steal, that kind of a thing. And they really like twisting words. So welcome to the show. Hopefully you'll learn something and maybe you can increase your moral character. That's all I got to say about that. Anyhow, back at you, Todd. So Todd, correct me if I butcher your last name, but it's Wyzykowski is how I would say it. Is that correct?
You're pretty close, Doug. It's Wyzykowski.
Wyzykowski. Well, we'll change it for you.
Yeah.
But Todd is Restore Pressure Washing and Soft Washing. He's out of LaGrange, Georgia?
That's correct.
Which has a massive population. Tell us that population. You know what it is?
Not offhand. I sure don't do
it. 31,500 people. But you are 45 minutes out of Columbus, right?
That's correct.
So is that where you do the majority of your business?
Yeah, we're about 30 minutes north of Columbus.
Yeah.
We do quite a bit of work at Fort Benning. And yeah, in between Fort Benning and LaGrange.
Yeah, very awesome. So tell us a little bit about you, when you started, how many employees you got, that kind of stuff. Anything you'd want to tell us before we get started?
Well, actually, I started doing this on the side, just like a lot of folks out there, Doug, have. I went and bought a 4x8 open trailer with a Home Depot DeWalt 3.8 gallon a minute unit. And the rest is history, really. I've really been in business full time since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I just retired from my power company after 33 years last July. So I actually was in my business full time on my days off because I worked 12-hour days with the power company.
Right.
And that allowed me, that meant I only worked for them half a month every month. So it allowed me to get into exterior cleaning full time on my days off. And then it got to the point where I just couldn't handle both. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And the power company was very, very good and generous to me. So I've got me a good nest egg set back between the pension and the 401k. And so I just retired from there last July, and I'm focusing on my business full time.
Well, go ahead.
Been there ever since. So, and I don't regret one day of it. So it can be done for anybody listening out there.
So where did you get your business sense from, if I can ask it that way? Because to me, you seem to have really good business sense, though you've been working for the power company for all those years. So what is it that gives you that? Is it just common sense? Is it something that you studied, read, did, whatever?
A lot of it has been studying, reading. I do have other family members that own businesses as well that I've learned from. But with our industry in particular, I'm just going to give you and Ray and Rob Anderson and Lord, quite a few other folks, Carlos. I've been kind of watching from the outside for quite some time and how y'all handle yourselves. And that's made a big impact on my business as well. Along with, other things that I've implemented. Now, I brought a lot of things over from the power company, management in the power company that I brought into my business. So, it kind of meshes all together. It's served me well.
All right, let me answer this question real quick, and then we'll start rolling forward a little bit. So Jason says that he had asked a question earlier, but it was hard to understand the question. So he worked for a restaurant. They paid him in gift cards, and he wants to figure out a way to raffle them to grow his client base and to get more business. So Jason, I'm going to tell you, we're gonna talk about those kinds of things. And so for me, I mean, we might as well talk about that right now. Just segue right into it and kind of get through that. So let me ask you this, Todd. What would be your thoughts, real quick, on if you were paid in gift cards? What would you do with those gift cards? Any idea?
I would actually the raffling them off is a great idea, but I would kind of use them as an incentive to get business is what I would do.
So here would be my thing. Jason, if you can answer a couple of questions for me. First of all, what's the dollar figure? Okay, so is it they paid you $500 in cards? They paid you $1,000? They paid you $100? And how many cards did you get? Did you get 1? Did you get 10? Did you get 50? So because that's really going to help me, right? But honestly, I would run it. I know some people are going to say, well, Facebook doesn't work for me. And the odds are, if they're saying Facebook doesn't work for me, it's more that it's maybe even doing it wrong or doing it in a way that it's not working for them in that area at that time. A lot of times when I see that, it's because the like count you should have a business page, which Todd does, and a personal page, which Todd does. You got to separate the two of them. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so then you have to get your like count up on your business page. So that's really important. And those gift cards can help you do that. So depending on the type of restaurant that it is. All right. So Jason is saying $100 a card. He's got 37 cards. So you got $3,700 is what I am reading out of that, Jason. So,
wow,
man, I'm going to tell you what. So first of all, that's super awesome.
It is.
I am going to grow my like count on. So boy, I'm having a flood of ideas coming through for you. Mm-hmm. So right off the bat, how many likes do you have on your page, Jason, is what I'm going to ask, and on your business page. And the reason that I'm asking that is very simply because I'm going to do a like to eat free giveaway. Okay. And I'm going to do that on Facebook, like my page. And I'm going to give away 3,700 gift cards to people for this holiday season. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to use it as a massive giveaway for Christmas. And maybe, Christmas to the new year, I'm going to give away $3,700 worth of gift cards to this XYZ restaurant. The very first person is going to get $200. The very last person is going to get $300. I'm going to do something like that because $3,700 is a lot of stuff to give away. Mm-hmm. But what you have to do to get that is like my page and share it. Make it, yeah. Share it out. That's what you've got to do. That's all you've got to do to qualify for this giveaway, right? I'm telling you what, that you will likely blow up in likes. So that's something I would also advertise. I would pay to advertise that because for me, I'm not advertising my business. Okay. I'm advertising like my page to get these gift cards. That's what I would do. So we'll get into a little bit more about that kind of stuff here in a little bit, but I want to get into some of what Todd has done. Let me go back.
I've done the same thing, Doug, with when the gas prices were spiking so high. I actually offered that as an incentive, to give away a $50 gas card.
Right. And you did like to drive free giveaway or something like that?
Right. That's correct. That really drove in a lot of business for us.
So if you can see, I have a ploy there, right? Like to do this. So, Todd's giving away gas cards. It's a like to drive or like to save on gas, like free gas, like for free gas in the restaurant thing, like to eat free giveaway, those kinds of things. So I'm doing it as a like to do this to get that free giveaway, right? All right, let's see. Since Ray's not here to help me with the comments, I'm going to try to keep up with him and kind of go that. Man, $3,700. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Wow. All right, Jim Bob, use the gift cards for big ticket job as a gift, and maybe if you work with a property manager, that's a really good idea, Jim Bob. If you have commercial jobs right now, you could use those gift cards as giveaways to your commercial clients. Mm-hmm. And Todd has done that, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. So Jason is saying, I have 263 likes. So here's my thing. I'm imagining, based on that, you probably don't have a great commercial presence as of yet. So I may not, if you have any commercial clients, I would use some of those gift cards on the commercial clients, just like Jim Bob said. The rest, I would work on getting likes for my page. And let's understand something with the likes. If I have Todd liking my page and he's in Georgia and I'm in Baton Rouge, that doesn't do me any good. Mm-hmm. I need local people liking my page. So don't ask me to like your page. Don't ask Todd to like your page. Get the local people. Advertise in a very local niche area, your area, and get them to like your page in order to, be entered into this drawing. Because it's those people that, even though they don't want your page, don't care about your page, if they like your page, their friends and family see that. That's what you're after. That is the big spread. Most people have heard about pyramid schemes, and this is not a pyramid scheme. That's not how I mean that in any way, shape, or form. But the one person clicks the like, and then two people see it. And if they like it, then more people. So it spreads out kind of in that fashion. That's the reason for getting the like count up.
Right. And I'll tell you another thing I've done as well, Doug, especially this time of year. You have places like Lowe's or Home Depot that are discounting tremendously gas grills.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and buy 3 or 4 during the winter just to save up for spring.
Absolutely.
I'll do this same type thing in the spring, and get folks ready for the summer. But what I'll do is I'll just tie that into a house washing. You book your house washing with us, you go into a drawing for this nice grill. So I think ahead. You constantly have to be thinking ahead.
Absolutely.
For the seasons, for events that's coming up in your local area, and things of that nature to help you stay ahead of the game.
Absolutely. So we have a Facebook user that's asking, I have $1,000 to give away for the holidays. How should this be done? One winner or break this up? Give me your thoughts, and then I'll give you mine.
Ooh. $1,000, you would get a lot of feedback for $1,000. But
so are you suggesting a single giveaway?
In my area, I would split that up into 2 $500 giveaways.
So I would split that up even further. I would do like maybe a $400 giveaway, and then I would break it down further from there. Do 6 $100 giveaways, and then a $400. And my reason for that is simply because if I do one giveaway, I really have to push one time. Where if I can say, and our winner this week was Todd, can you be the winner next week? I can keep building that up to that $400 giveaway. Think about this. If you look at radio, as an example, a lot of radio shows, they'll do contests and giveaways. And how do they do that? They typically do, okay, so the first winner gets 50, the second winner gets 100, and the grand prize winner is going to get 1,500. So they build you up to that pot. So you're always you're always listening, you're always paying attention to try to get to that final level, if you would. So
that's right.
That's why I would break them up, and I wouldn't necessarily do one great big giveaway kind of a thing. So Todd, I want to do something. I'm going to share your page real quick.
Okay.
And guess what? I just erased it. So let me get back in and show it real quick. And there we go. Okay. So this is Todd's page. And the reason that I did this is because I like the fact that he has a business page to begin with. Restore pressure washing and soft washing. It's right there in front of your face. He's got good logo presence, if you would, where you don't have to wonder about what he's doing. It's very easy to capture. But as you follow down, and 607 followers, Todd, I'm gonna tell you to get that up. We need it. As many likes and followers as you possibly can. And I'd say a minimum of 1,500, but I mean, get it up to thousands if you can. Right. But if you look down, I mean, he's dealing with the veterans. Okay, so he's got something out. But let me show you here. Let me scroll down where I saw that at to something So look at this thing that he gave away. Okay. This was to one of your property managers, correct?
Actually, 20. I delivered 29 of them between property managers and some government agencies.
Okay. So here's my point to this. So first of all, this isn't a quote unquote cheap giveaway. Okay. Don't know what that costs. I'm going to imagine $20.
Try 50.
50. Okay. So you gave away a bunch of them at $50 a piece.
That's correct.
That's awesome. All right. So here's my point in this. Look what happened. So he gave this to Woodland Trail Apartments. And what did they do? Woodland Trail Apartments went out and tagged him. They put this out and said, hey, thank you, right? So they're thanking Restore Pressure Washing and Soft Washing for always providing the best services and the sweetest treats. We really appreciate you. That $50 gift card to just that one company is going to return him. I mean, I would even hate to venture a guess. It could return you $100,000 easy, just depends on, how they follow through and all that.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
And then going down, look at what he's got going on here. I love your page here, your business page, because it is really showing what you do. And it's very easy if I'm scrolling through to see what it is that you're doing and the work that you're doing. And if I keep scrolling down, there's another one down here. Let's see. So look at this one here, okay? This home is all clean and ready for guests this Christmas season. Comment below for your favorite dish, dessert to eat at Christmas. Always remember, estimates are free. And then the Merry Christmas. So is this a giveaway?
It's not. It's just want some interaction. My daughter is my office manager. She also has a degree in marketing and entrepreneurship. And she does all of this for me. So she knows that I want stuff posted every day to stay in front of the public, to stay in front of my clients, to stay in front of people that like our page. And she knows that I just require 1 to 2 posts a day. And this is just basically just to stay out in front of people, just to remind them what we are, what we do, and things of that nature.
So here I was saying you're a super smart business guy for all the things that you're doing here. When it turns out to be your daughter, which still makes you super smart for bringing her on, right?
Well, I paid for 4 years of school. I'm going to get something out of it.
There you go. Well, look, the only thing I think I would have done different with this, just to throw it out there, this home is all clean and ready for guests for this Christmas season. Comment below your favorite dish or dessert to eat at Christmas. So this is where I don't mean anything that you should do different, but here's one of the things I would do with those gift cards, right? I would say comment below for your chance to win the $100 gift card to get your favorite dish, dessert, or to eat at Christmas. So you can bring in what your company does, a before and after, a Merry Christmas, and enter to win kind of a thing, right?
Correct.
And if you look, I mean, he's got other things here with the hat, but I'll go even further down. There it is. So this is you guys at a festival, correct?
It's at our local Christmas parade.
Local Christmas parade.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he decked out his. So first of all, he's got a good clean wrap on his truck, which is super awesome. It's super easy to read. Restore Pressure Washing and Soft Washing, residential and commercial. Good phone number on there. I personally like a nice big phone number on the fender there.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. Look at his trailer there. Okay, so now he's got Restore Pressure Washing and Soft Washing phone number, presents on top, things all happening. Is that like a booster in a box that's wrapped up as a present?
No. Actually, those are just empty boxes we threw on top. That's where we keep all our ladders, of course.
That's awesome.
We put 3/4 inch plywood up there as a floor, and we kind of built the scene up there on that floor.
I love that you have the lights going around it. The only thing I would suggest is maybe light up the water inside the tank. I think that.
We did. We've got two green. We've got 2 green lights in there, and I'm going to share something with you about this, Doug. We have booked 13 jobs off of this one event.
And what did that event cost you?
Well, about $600.
$600, and it got you 13 jobs.
That's correct.
That's a pretty good ROI.
Yep.
Even if it got you 0 jobs today, it's still a good ROI. So these are the things for me that are about brand building. Okay.
Mhm.
These aren't necessarily about getting jobs today, though obviously they do. And it's a win for you. Did you give away any kind of candies or anything while you were doing that?
That's against the rules. We couldn't do that.
Ah, okay. So you couldn't give
Yeah.
anything away.
Yeah. But
Well,
I getting back to your light point. That was the one thing that all 13 of these book clients remembered is the green light in that buffer tank.
oh, awesome. If that's,
That's what made it stand out.
you know what, I was thinking too about if that's a water tank, right? But water buffer tank, no bleach in it, then I might even add a little apple wash to it, make it all pink water, and then light it up. I think that might be kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we were just wanting to stick with the theme, green, red, with it being Christmas.
All right. So the Facebook user is coming back and he's saying, I wanted to have it done before Christmas. That's kind of his catch. So, he's got what, 6 days left?
Right.
Still $1,000, man. You could do a singular giveaway, or I still like maybe doing two $500 giveaways kind of a thing.
Yep.
But again, I'm gonna advertise that $1,000. I'm gonna use more. I'm really gonna point you again because you're under a short time frame. I'm really gonna point you back towards Facebook because if you're going to use AdSense, and I'm not a TikTok guy, and I don't necessarily think YouTube's going to be the way to get you there. So for me, I would do a campaign with Facebook, and I would really push that $1,000. I would send that out in an email blast to all of my past customers. I would definitely put that on my personal page. Friends, family, are going to see that. Then I would definitely put it on my business page. Again, I can't stress enough how your past clients or I'm going to switch off here a little bit. Scott Torsey had once said, I think it was Scott. No, it wasn't Scott. I can't remember who said it now all of a sudden. I think Scott Stone is who said it. I think it was. Scott was saying that he had somebody asking him for a discount once. And he said, I don't give discounts to new customers. I give them to old customers. So your first time, it's going to cost you XYZ. Next time, you can ask for that discount kind of a thing because we're about building relationships kind of thing. So don't ever forget about your past clients when you're trying to get new customers because your old clients are your best clients, kind of regardless. It's building those relationships and getting those referrals from them. So
right.
And then he's saying, would a like and follow to win campaign be my best way to go? I was thinking one every month. The only thing you would need to check with that on, Jason, is how long those gift cards are going to be good for. You don't, if you got 37 of them to give away, I mean, that's 37 months. That's, too long for that kind of a thing. I don't know that they're going to deal with that. Honestly, I would probably push that in a 3-month time frame, minimum. I mean, maximum. I wouldn't let it go any more than 3 months to get rid of that $3,700. And there's a lot of different ways to give that away. If somebody asks for a discount, no, but if you sign today on this $1,200 contract, I will give you a $100 gift card to what's his name's restaurant, but you got to tell them we sent you, kind of a thing. I'm not real big on discounting my services at all. So there's that. So I wouldn't necessarily take that approach, but I would get rid of those fairly quickly. But you also have to be ready to handle the work that they're going to generate for you. We could really get into something big, Matthew, as far as that's a lot of give. I would definitely do the likes to help me get likes on my page. I'm just saying that is absolutely what I would do.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
And I would build it up to gear up for spring. I don't know where he's at, but I would definitely gear it up towards springtime. And then after that campaign's over with, then you start something else to keep those folks coming back.
Always. You're always doing some sort of a campaign to help bring them in. And I like this picture here, by the way, because, you got the ears on there and look, it's everybody having fun, having a good time. If you don't think that the people that are watching don't recognize that, you're wrong. For me personally, I would do this. I haven't done it, not in the recent past anyhow. But dressing up, if your guys want to dress up as they go out and clean, I definitely let them do it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Doug, we had a good time as a family and as employees.
Mhm.
So it was a good bonding time outside of our normal day-to-day washing routines.
There it is,
And
all lit up.
yep, there it is.
Mhm. So let me ask you this, Todd. How do you, in particular, get find out about because you're in a small town, right? So it's probably not that hard to do. But how do you find out about the different festivals or things going on in your area?
Oh well, the number one thing for me is the local chamber of commerce. Um, join their Facebook page. They are constantly posting things. You can receive notifications through your email on your Facebook page about upcoming events, and they post things like this months in advance, where you can think about what you want to do and how you want to do it, who you want to target, and things of that nature. So I am constantly on the Chamber of Commerce website.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There, even if you just do a Google search that is festivals in my area, right? There, I think there's something called, it's either festivals.com or festivals.net or something like that. I know there's one of them out there that, even though if you don't have any upcoming events that they know about, just because they're there doesn't mean that they know about all the events happening in your area. The chamber is going to be better for that. But it does have a tendency to, one of them, I can't remember which one, but it showed past events. And so you can contact those past events and be ready for them the following year, right? So you may have missed it this year, but now you know when it's going to happen next year, or contact them about when are you going to do it next year, that sort of thing. Listen to the radio, find out, okay, even if you can't make it this year, plan for it for next year, right?
Yeah.
Do stuff to do. I think it's interesting that you're not allowed to. So here, I mean, we throw stuff all the time, right?
They just recently implemented that the last 2 years for that Christmas parade.
Gotcha.
You couldn't throw out candy, give away candy, nothing like that. I tell you one thing that the chamber is good for as well. Just for me, we have something here called the dragon boat races. And it is a big thing with a lot of businesses around here every year. Basically, you just you take it's not a paddle boat. I mean, this is one of the Olympic size rowing boats that you can put 10 people in. It's really a great event here in town. And what it's for is it raises money for the Harmony House, which is the battered women's shelter. And if you go back and look at your numbers, I cater a lot of my ads and stuff like that to women. And that's why I sponsor this race every year, not just to get business, y'all, because I want to help this event out, because that organization is near and dear to my heart. But you kind of have to know who your target audience is for whatever campaign you're doing. So since that event benefits the battered women's shelter, there's a lot of women that's going to be there. So I'm going to sponsor it. I'm going to get the signs out there. Anything that I can do to get myself in front of women. I just looked at this the other night, Doug, when you invited me. 63% of people that respond to my ads, no matter what I put on Facebook, are women.
Oh, very good.
63%. And you can look at all those kind of numbers, and Facebook has it available for you. You just have to know where to look.
And that is called knowing your numbers. And that's a super powerful thing. I can tell you, a lot. And even though I think our times are changing a little bit, I think it's still, where the guys more take care of the business side of things, but no matter what, we're going to listen to what our wives tell us and that sort of thing. I often go back to one particular job that I can never get out of my mind. We were working on a house, and I'm always engaging when somebody pulls up and all that. The neighbor pulled up in his driveway, and I, engaged him. Hey, how are you doing today? Blah, blah, blah. Talk to him. And, he said, I do want to get an estimate on the side of my stucco over here. I said, well, what about your roof? It's it's pretty dirty. We can take care of that. He's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever. So, looked at it. So probably another hour or two later, he's gone, but his wife pulls in the driveway. And same thing. Oh, hey, how are you doing? Just so you know, I'm going to get you an estimate on the stucco over there. Your husband told me to give it to you. Are you interested in a quote on the roof as well? Because, it's dirty and, and you can really see it on the backside and blah, blah, blah. And both of them just glanced up at the roof. Nope, don't need it. Nothing like that. I get home that evening. I get a absolute frantic phone call from the husband. My wife is all over me. How soon can you get out here and clean that roof, man? I got to get that thing cleaned right away. I'm like, neither of you cared. But his wife, man, she was all over him and like, you've got to get that thing clean. That is disgusting. And yeah, it's hilarious. So they're going to make our decisions for us a lot of times. So
yeah, that's right.
Let me ask you this. In your day-to-day stuff, do you empower your employees at all to help you, not just with the work, but I'm talking about for the festivals and the likes and anything that you do to empower your employees to help grow your business and maintain your business, I guess is the way I'm trying to say that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they know that we actually have meetings at least once a week about this particular subject and what we have coming up. Now, of course, this time of the year in Georgia, we did 2 jobs today. We did them after lunch, but it's because of the cold weather. Mm-hmm. And we don't. I would like to say that I need to have more meetings on how to implement more stuff during the winter, and I'm working on that. But I do go ahead and we have weekly meetings with our employees about what they can do while they're on the job site, what they can do when they're off work. They don't mind wearing company shirts that I provide. They don't mind wearing the company hats that I provide. And I can't tell you the number of times that my employees have engaged with clients after hours, after wearing a hat or a shirt, and say, look, here's an address. They wrote it down. Here's a number, name and number, and they want you to come by tomorrow and give them a quote. So just like myself, they are constantly looking for work. They are constantly looking for, clients that we can build relationships with. Awesome. So yes, to answer your question, yes, I do. I want them to get engaged in some way.
You give them any kind of benefit for that?
Oh, yes, sir. It's a monetary benefit, because the old saying goes, money talks, cash is king. Well, yeah, that's true.
That's it. And a lot of times, I think a lot of people, when they think about contests and festivals and giveaways and all that, you always think externally, right? You're always thinking about, okay, how do I do this externally? How do I get new customers with this? How do I, but I think that you have to look at all of those things in 2 different ways, internally and externally. So internally, what I mean is, even having contests within your own company for an extra day off or whatever to build morale and, all that, but also giving them the ability to create a contest that is external, right? So that and that they get something out of that as well. Like, guy's got the 37 restaurant cards. So, maybe his employees, if you have employees, maybe give one to each of your employees, kind of a thing, to show them the value of them as well, especially right now, Christmas time, why not, that kind of a thing. So I like that a lot, as far as that is. And when you're talking about giveaways and all that, one of the things that I think about is, doing things off the wall and things that are different than what other people are going to do. So one of my thoughts on that, I was thinking about different things today, is like, let's say, for example, you've got your trailer pulls up and you've got your soft wash stuff on there. And, hey, Mr. Todd, come on out here and we're going to do something fun today. And I got one of my signs. I put it up here in the yard, and here's a dart. I want you to throw a dart, and if you hit the $100 gift card that's in there, and you got it you got something representing the gift card. You hit that gift card, it's $100 is yours and $100 for one of your friends, right? So they get to throw the dart at it, you video it, you put it up on your thing, your Facebook page and all that, and then it gets shared out. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just have to think outside the box,
right?
Or give away toys to pets, or maybe I'm all of a sudden I'm even thinking, the toys for Todd's drive and all that. Maybe I don't give Todd anything. Maybe I give a toy to Toys for Tots in your name, for your signing up with us today.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or to the women's shelter, whatever. Mm-hmm. Because if you sign today, whether you sign or you don't sign today, I am going to give a $50 donation to the battered women's shelter just for allowing me to come out and give you an estimate today. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you could use those things to better the community and to potentially get work out of it.
That's correct. That's a good idea. A good idea, Doug. I may have to take you up on that.
Not bad, huh?
That's not bad at all. No.
Yeah. I mean, so the weirdest thing for me is I can rattle things off and come up with things like that, just clear off the top of my head. And as I talk about things like this sometimes, and, I do research, I have little notes in front of me and all that kind of thing, but I can come up with just odd stuff that works, and it works very, very well. And it's part of the reason for growing my business is doing things different than everybody else does it. And so for me, if you're just doing a contest, you have to make it a little bit more on the fun side, make it a little bit more on the quirky side, because the problem that you run into a lot of times is you don't remember who it was that was doing the giveaway after the giveaway is done, right? I'm going to have a better chance at remembering Restore because of the pointy ears. And, I'm going to remember Ray wearing that, that jacket that he wears. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to remember people that do things out of the ordinary. I'm going to remember somebody, cleaning a house on, the Christmas season wearing a Santa outfit. Of course, it'll look terrible when you're done, that kind of thing. So I don't, that's probably not the best thing to do. But, having Santa spraying the house and the elves running around doing stuff. Yeah. I mean, things like that can be a really cool idea. Think about this when you're talking about contests. Have you ever done a contest that's like and you got to watch how you do something like this. Okay. So how about a contest that is send me a picture of the worst looking house in your neighborhood? Okay. Now, the problem with that is that you're kind of calling out the neighbors, right? But it could be fun. You have to find a way to fine tune that to make it fun, right? So, that way, if Todd says, oh, yeah, I took a picture at Doug's house, here it is, and he tags Doug, right? So you'd have to do it that way to say, take a picture of the worst house in your neighborhood, tag that person and share it here. And they are entered into winning a $200 gift certificate towards getting their house washed. Mm-hmm. Right. And at the end of this campaign, which lasts a month and a half or 2 months long or a month long, whatever, we're going to give away a house wash, and you don't have to wait. You can wash your house today. If you are the winner, we give you your money back. Right. So that way you don't have to necessarily make everybody wait that. Because otherwise, you're going to get everybody just waiting to see if they won, and,
yep.
That kind of thing. That would not be a good thing at all, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
and that's another key thing, and I'm glad you brought that up. Is dragging something like that out. It is not good. So, if you're going to run a contest, you need to set a start date and an end date. That way, you can build and build and build. That folks know when it's going to end. And if you have to start something after that, start you another one.
Just like you said, you're never stopping.
No,
right? So, you're doing one contest and then you're doing another.
Yeah.
And I like what was it, Jason, that got all those gift cards? I mean, you thinking about that out loud, I would probably challenge another restaurant to be able to. So I would say, we got $3,700 worth of gift cards to give away. I know you don't want to give them all away because of your wife, but We have $3,700 worth of gift cards to give away from XYZ Restaurant. If you are a restaurant and you are looking for customers and you provide great service, great food, hey, contact us about doing a giveaway for your restaurant as well. And let's see if we can get you cleaned up and get you some new customers as well. Do something along that lines, right? So now you're drawing in those other restaurant owners. And look, you can even throw out there, and you don't have to have a restaurant. You could be if you sell widgets, right? Let's do a contest with your widgets. So anything like that. One of my best, as I've always said 100 times over, is the Like to Fish free giveaway. That was a great thing for my company.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Is to get other businesses involved. I mean, you all help each other out. I mean, it's basically what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Wild West is saying I did Toys for Tots this year, helped many families and a few more to go. Love it. You know what? They're just to be on the clear side, things like Toys for Tots, the woman's shelter, and things like that. There's not just a business thing there. Okay.
No.
There's a if it doesn't touch you with warmth in your heart, I mean, it doesn't have to, right? But it really should. I mean, it should help rejuvenate you and do things within your community that are going to help bring you business, but really because it helps you as well, right? It helps you grow as a person and as a business. That's what I like.
I like to say that, I don't do a lot of stuff to get anything in return, but at the same time, it does make you feel good that people appreciate what you do, what you are doing in the community. And if it does bring in business, that's great, but I don't know, that's just my character, I'm not pat myself on the back, Doug. I'm just saying that there is a human aspect to it. And my whole business is based upon relationships.
Absolutely.
And people can tell when you're fake. They can tell when you're doing something and you have an ulterior motive. And but when it comes to the business side and you're just doing a campaign to get business, to me, that's something totally different, But you talked about the women's shelter and the Toys for Tots. Yeah, you need to give out of your heart and what you feel like you need to do. And really that could bring in more business than anything.
Yeah.
When people know that you're not fake, you're just not doing it just to be doing it,
So, Wild West says I didn't promote my company. I did it for the kid. And that is super awesome. I can tell you. So a lot of times, though, I don't believe in like putting business cards on, but I would come wearing company attire in the company truck, that kind of a thing. I can tell you the same thing, like around here, Ascension Parish Sheriffs and the Gonzales Police Department, as an example. I never asked them for business. I never anything, right? If I saw them stopped on the side of the road somewhere, especially this time of year, I would buy gifts and I would have the gifts ready to give out, unwrapped, all that kind of stuff, so that they know, and because I think safety for them is paramount. But anyhow, so I'd see a police officer on the side of the road. I would pull over. I'd walk out with it clear in my hand, and I'd walk up. I'd hand it to him. I'd say, "Merry Christmas and thank you for your service." And I'd turn around. I wouldn't engage him in conversation at all. I wouldn't even attempt to engage him in conversation. Here it is. Thank you for your service. Merry Christmas to you.
Yep.
Walk away. So I went to a gun show. I guess this has been a year and a half ago or so. And the funny thing is that, when you're going into a gun show and, I had a weapon with me and, they make sure it's all unloaded and all that. And there's a police officer sitting there and I'm not dressed in my company attire at all. And he's like, because I'd sold the company. But he's like, so how's the soft washing going for you? So he recognized and remembered me from the giveaways and all the things that we have done for them and for their service. So if you don't think that they're recognizing you and remembering you and that these things are paying long-term dividends, you're mistaken, because they do.
That's it. Another thing we've done, we have a crisis pregnancy center here, which that's another one that's kind of near to my heart there. We did a campaign just to benefit them. Where 5% of our monthly sales went to the crisis pregnancy center here. And there again, majority of women work at this facility.
Mhm.
And, I'm not saying that I played on that, but when I go by the analytics of the men versus women that like my page, that respond to my posts, 63% are women. Yeah, I'm going to gear my, campaigns toward women.
Towards women, right?
Right. So, there was that was a really good month that month, and it was because of the Crisis Pregnancy Center here.
So I
And
really like this one from Facebook user. I don't know who it is. I'm sorry. Says we do Christmas lights. So this year we did a free lights for a 30-year-old widow with 2 kids and is pregnant who lost her husband in October. We let the people on Facebook suggest widows or disabled vet who needed some holiday cheer. That is absolutely awesome. That's one of those ones that's just, it's a super good give back that also helps you and your company. This helps. It not only helps at that this is about brand awareness as well. So it helps build your brand, and you make this a repeatable thing. You do it every single year. The only thing I'm going to caution everybody on, if you're watching this, giveaways, contests, all that kind of thing are good. But like I'm going to say, like certain raffles, what's the word that I'm looking for, where you're taking in dollars to give away dollars. Like, let's say you want to do a 50-50 raffle kind of a thing where, we're going to give away, if you get, for every $2 you give, we're going to give $1 over here, and we're going to give $1 to whoever wins. You got to watch, because those are like lottery rules that you got to follow and do different things on. And so, definitely check with your local area, your state, as far as any rules on things like that you might be planning on doing, just so that you know. Wild West says we gave out over 3,000 units. That is super, super awesome.
Wow.
We also give our local police balls and dolls for comforting kids in their time of stress. That is another really, 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 really good idea. So you could give away. So one of the things that you got to watch with some of these is, like, a lot of the police and things, they're not allowed to take gifts. Okay. That's why I walk up, I hand it to them, I walk away. How do you say I can't take that? It's in my hand, and the guy walked away. Right. So that way they're not breaking their rules and all that. So something like this, I think that might bridge that gap even, because now you're not giving something to the police officer. You're giving something to the police officer to give away to a child or somebody that's in that's just had a stress in their life, or a spouse that passed away or something, to help comfort them in their time of need, kind of thing. I really, really like that.
I do too. That's good.
And this is where it's good thinking outside the box and all that. So we're getting close to an hour now. I want to share a couple of things too. So if you're doing a contest, or you're going to go to a festival or whatever, I think the biggest thing to help get a good bang for your buck is to try to make it go viral. But have you ever done anything to try to get you and your company to go viral?
Oh, well, just about everything that we do, we try to get to go viral.
But what do you do specifically to try to help you go viral? Is there anything that you do?
This not me. Like I said, I pretty much let my daughter handle all this. She's a marketing major, and I just let her roll with it, Doug. Her ideas that she's learned. She's actually starting her own business too, and I'm not going to get off in left field about it. But right now, she's doing more for her company than she's doing for mine, and I don't blame her. But she has run with quite a few ideas that I just love. As far as going viral, now she's all into TikTok. She's all into Instagram. What is that? The older I'm getting, Doug, the
Twitter and all that. Well, here's the thing. If you want it to go, different things that you're doing to go viral, so send whatever it is that you're doing. Send it out to, like, if you have local celebrities, and celebrities can be newscasters, that kind of thing. Send what you're doing to local, quote unquote, celebrities, right? People of influence, Send it out to your local news stations to begin with. Send it out to your local chamber. You never know when they're going to feature you, especially if they're having a slow month. And I've mentioned this before, especially with the news. If they're having a slow day news-wise, they might pick up a feel-good story, right? And say, oh, yeah, Wild West Wash Services gave away 3,000 units to kids. Look, I know you didn't do it for the notoriety kind of a thing, but nonetheless, you could use that as, just using that as an example to try to help things get, to go viral, because when things go viral, things just seem to happen for you sometimes.
Mm-hmm. That's
so
correct.
Try to put yourself in that position, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Wild West says everyone loves feel-good stories. That's true. So unfortunately, people love negative and they love feel-good stories. I think negative is why the news is the way it is, because people thrive on negative. Mm-hmm. That's why I think if you watch this show enough, like you notice, we got guys like Todd on here. Todd is a positive person. He's not a negative Nancy by any means. Mm-hmm. And Jody Pastori, we had on here last week or the week before, super positive type person. Carlos Gonzalez, love having him on here. We like having positive people, not just educational types, the lawyers that we've had on and the insurance agents and stuff like that, but more people with a positive flair to them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let me look at my notes, make sure I kind of captured everything. You got anything that you want to add, Todd?
No, you pretty much covered a lot. I've been thinking about this all day and what I thought you might ask, and you pretty much hit the highlights that I thought about, Doug.
Well, look, don't forget, especially about your auto emails. Guys, mm-hmm. if you do a giveaway and you're capturing email addresses, you should put them into an email sequence, not where you're spamming them every month, kind of a thing, but if they're not a customer, maybe every 4 months they're receiving something from you. And to me, the reason I'm saying 4 months is because I don't want it to be so often that they click on the unsubscribe, right? So I'd rather touch them every now and then instead of keeping after them every single month. Now, that also depends. There's a thing called, hit the iron while it's hot. If they're wanting your service, yeah, you go after them a little bit more aggressively, but that's in knowing your customers and all that kind of thing. And it's actually in my notes about nominating someone and why. So if you're going to do a giveaway, just like somebody said here earlier, do it as a nomination, right? Nominate somebody else. So you can't necessarily win anything. You can nominate yourself in some of those, but nominate somebody else who is deserving of whatever it is that you're giving away.
Right.
Maybe ask them to do a video of why they need your services. And, you can have different tiers of, the best video gets a free whatever that is. Then there's a runner-up and the next one. And, the runner-up gets $300 off the service or $500 off. And the next one gets, $100 gift card, or, whatever the case may be. Internal and external contests. We did that. Let's see. So sometimes people say, how do I know what it is that people maybe want or need? Okay. So when you go out and you do an estimate, and if you happen to see something in their yard, pay attention to the cat in the window, the LSU tiger sign, whatever it is that they have, walk for Bree, not Bree. I said that all wrong. I don't know who that is, but the walk for somebody, whatever, right? So whatever those are, if those mean something to somebody, then you can have that or use that as a contest or gift or giveaway or what, to use that to get your gift for them, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. Find partners. So one of the things that I also wanted to touch on was sometimes people say, well, who? Because for me, if you find partners in this, and when I'm saying partners, the restaurant is a great partner, right? So if Todd is going out and he wants to build his brand, if you would, he could approach all of the different restaurants to do a giveaway and use them as partners in his giveaway, right? But another thing is look on your, part of it is how do you get them to do it? How do you get them to engage with you? So you can go on to your, most of the times you can go on to your state's page and you can find new businesses, businesses that launched. Mm-hmm. Even your local chamber can tell you what new business entered the market here locally, right? As an example, there's an axe throwing outfit that opened up here in my area locally. Okay, when they open up, that's going to be probably the best time to approach them about a giveaway with your audience, especially if you have a big audience, kind of a thing. So then that way you have the giveaways to give away, and that's one of the ways that you can get them to give you their items, if you would. So
right. Right. I've done that in the past, Doug, with some local painters here. We'd go in and we'd prep the house for paint, but at the same time, me and these two painters in particular, we have kind of tag team on a couple of campaigns in that regard. Now these are painters that didn't do any pressure washing, so they relied on us to prep a lot of their houses up before they had to paint them. So I've done a couple of campaigns with some local painters to drum up business for both of us. So it does work.
Mm-hmm. And I'll also throw this one out there. I saw a post about Brenda Farley today. For those of you that don't know Brenda Farley, I love Miss Brenda. But anyhow, she sent a vendor. It was like a cute little character thing that said, "I love barbecue" on it. She knows her vendors and, that kind of thing. So, sometimes just building and sharing the love outward that way, they're going to help refer. Now, that's not quite as, going on the local side, but like, especially local vendors, because they're going to, if somebody comes in and says, like, let's just say it's a pressure washing outlet store, right? Where you buy your pressure washing stuff. And somebody comes in and says, "I know you sell pressure washing equipment, but do you have any recommendations for somebody that could pressure wash my place?" And then they got this thing from Brenda Farley sitting on their thing. Oh yeah, Brenda, she knows how to do that. You're more apt to get the business from them. Again, this is about, building the relationships, if you will. So one more comment coming in. Michael J said, "We did a Share Your Thanks event a few years back as a sponsor for a church and fed 186 homeless people that we went and picked up with buses. The church has kept our ad running for free since 2013. That is super, super awesome."
Yep, that's good.
And then he says, "The people we help still wave to our trucks." That's a super awesome thing. So,
and that gets back to your point that with the police officers, they're going to remember what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're still waving at them trucks.
Yeah, we do it for police officers, first responders, teachers, veterans, people that we know are centered on helping the community. So sometimes I find out somebody is a pastor, let's say, we may, I'm kind of different in that regard. Like, as an example, there was a gentleman whose daughter had passed away in a tragic car accident. And I don't remember how it was that I came about it, but anyhow, I was going out to give this guy an estimate, and it's ironically his daughter's name was Grace. And so I found out that what had happened was a drunk driver crossed the center line on the interstate and hit their car. And they had, I want to say, a full car, 5 or 6 people in the car. And the baby who was in a car seat was the only one to die. And so he had been an advocate for trying to get the center dividers up, the barricade, not the barricades, right, but the wire ropes up, all that kind of stuff. And so somehow I found out about that. And now, again, I don't typically give away anything in a case like that until after I've made the sale. Okay. Because I want them to know I didn't say anything to them to get the sale. Right. So in his case, as an example, we did his house, we did his roof. And then, in the end, he's like, I'd like to get the driveway done, but I think I'm getting over my budget. So let's just do the roof and the house. And okay, great. So after he signed on the dotted line for the roof and the house, again, because I'm not going to use his daughter's death for personal gain, not going to do that. But once he signed on the dotted line, that's when I said, okay, now I hope you can take this in the right way, but I'm going to give you a what I'm going to call, and I remember that his daughter's name was Grace, because it's an easy one to remember, number one. And so I used that, and I said, I'm going to give you our saving grace discount. And that saving grace discount is I'm going to do your driveway for free. And I know about your daughter, and I know about the work that you've done, and I really appreciate what you've done. And I wanted you to know that I waited until after the sale before I did this. So I'd like to do that for you if you don't mind. And I mean, he welled up in tears, and it was a great thing. And in the end, his wife, after we had done the work, because it wasn't about getting the job based on the passing or based on anything else. It was, this is my gift for you for the trouble that you've gone through, kind of a thing. So I would have gladly even done everything for free, because he's actually helped out the community a lot by his advocacy for those barriers that go up. So I think that's a very good thing. But
yeah,
anyhow,
that's a good
one. So won't see any of you until after Christmas, I'm sure. And so I do want to take this moment to be politically correct and say happy holidays. No, I don't want to be politically correct. It is a very Merry Christmas to y'all and a Happy New Year. And if you don't like me saying Merry Christmas, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry if you can't tell. It is Christmas. It is what the season is about. And if you get upset over Merry Christmas, well, yeah, that's just on you. So anyway,
just go ahead and say it, Doug. Just go ahead and say it.
Love you. Love you. As this to me is a great big family. That's all we are. And I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and God bless. And y'all take care of yourselves. Hang out for a moment with me, Todd.
All right.
I appreciate y'all for listening to us. We'll be back. I doubt that we'll be back next Monday. It'll be the day after Christmas, maybe so. I don't know yet, but we'll be back the following Monday after that, I'm sure. Peace out. Appreciate y'all. Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year if we don't see you before then, which we probably will.